All right. Welcome to our live show, the Life and Health Show, as we call it right now. We are live. We just want to hang out today with a very important topic. Just want to make sure that you have shared the stream. Um, the best thing to do right now is to click the like and then also the share buttons. That way, we will have a full house. The algorithm will post and share the stream if you liked it. So click the like button, the thumbs up, basically. And also, if you're on Facebook, oh wow, we got 2 likes already. Also, you're on Facebook or YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you are watching us from. Also do same by clicking either the share button, the like button, and also um, the the comment section when we have to talk about what we're going to do. We want to make sure that everybody participates. We are, as I always say, we are no experts. I am not an expert, and we are just learning together. So make sure that you click the comment if you have a positive thing to share. In particular, if you have something that we should have hit on that we didn't, it would be great to know your opinion, and that also makes it more interesting than to have one person just talk. All right, so I'm hoping that you do that today. We want to see as many comments as possible today. We have a wonderful show today, and from today we're going to call this live stream the Life and Health Show. Modeled from our channel, which is Dayspring Life and Health channel on YouTube. So our live show is going to be called the Life and Health Show from now onwards. Before we go on today's topic, as you may be anticipating, we just want to look back at August. So what we're going to be doing is every month we will pick up a topic, a major topic, and break it down weekly so that we will learn something out of that. And incidentally, in August, we did a lot about self review. In August, most of the things we did were focused on how you yourself as a person you develop or how you make your life better. And today, being the last weekend in August, we have a topic that is in the same area. So we're going to do that today. But before we talk about today's topic, I want to review what we have done so far in August. So in August, if you remember, I think that was the first week we talked about rest. The impact of rest and vacations on your health. And if you haven't seen that video, you can either go to our channel or after this, Facebook will recommend it to you if you watch it on Facebook. So that was the first topic, and then we talked about the power of positive thinking, the impact of positive thinking on your health, and we also talked about the need to be associated with people rather than being alone all the time. So in August, that is another thing that we hit on, that it is never good to be by yourself all the time, regardless of your independence in terms of finance or whatever. Uh, we are made as a creation to be interdependent in one way or the other. And so we also talked about that. You can also go back to the channel and look and see what we did. And then today we end the month of August with our show, which is how to turn around your negative situation, your problems, turn it around into your own advantage. That's basically what we're going to be talking about today. I presume everybody has a negative issue. I have. I'm pretty sure you have some negative
Yes,
things
I
that you
do.
want to change. So we
But I
are.
think you forgot what you talked about last week about reviewing
Oh,
the
I didn't mention
situation.
that. Very good, thank you. So last week, before this week, we also talked about reviewing your life and making the necessary changes so that you will be better, and how reviewing your life actually also impacts your health. Thank you for giving me that reminder. And today, we are capping up the month of August with the topic how to turn your disadvantages, how to turn your
Turn life and
problems,
health
your life
problems.
and health problems into your advantage. How to turn your life and health problems to your own advantage. And with me today, I have again my beautiful wife who was with me on the first show. Unfortunately, she's very busy, and so she couldn't be with me in the previous shows, but I'm happy to have her here today to go through the discussions uh, for today, the topic today with me. And again, you are also called on to definitely bring your ideas because we're going to have a fun time together. Now, at this point, if you haven't already shared or clicked the like button, I want to see you do that right now because we're going to get the ball rolling and we want everybody to be on there to do it. Yes, now I can see a few people on there. I can see our brother Eric Tanga is watching. I also see Castillo Francha, my own brother, is also watching. Now I want you to, if you don't comment, I usually don't see you. I have to go on the phone to see who is watching. So comment as much as you can. That way, your comment will also bring your names up. All right.
And you
So
can also just say hi so that we know that you are there watching us.
yes, you can just say hi. You can just say anything that's to register your presence. All right. That's what we want to see. Yes. I see two thumbs up and one like and one love. So whatever it's there, keep it going and let's have a fruitful discussion. So, do you have anything to say?
Let's go straight to that.
All right. So today's topic, as I have already said, how to turn your life and health challenges into your advantage. Now, honey, that being said, should I say that everybody have a life and health challenge? I think I alluded to that, right? You agree?
One way or the other, we can say that we all have problems. If it's not health, maybe life as a general. So we can say that we all have problems. So how can we turn this problem into positive or to our advantage?
All right. So everybody has something that they're dealing with. That is a disadvantage. Now, if you don't, you're probably already living in heaven because that's where there's no problem. So we are all going to learn in this subject. All right. So let's hit the ball rolling. And we have some slides that we are going to be talking about. We're going to link all the topics we're going to talk about with life, with health, with your finance, basically with health and your finance. So whatever we talk about, we just want to apply. You can apply it to other areas, but in the interest of time, we're just going to hit on your health as well as your finances. All right. So our first slide is, first of all, you have to identify that you have a problem. That's why I said everybody has a problem. For you to be able to turn your life situation, a negative situation, into an advantage, you have to know you have a problem. Do you agree?
I do. So if you don't know you have a problem, there is no way that you are going to look into it or cause a change. So you have to identify that I have a problem. There is something that is not going on right. Let's say that you know that you are living from paycheck to paycheck. Okay. And you have maxed your credit cards and you keep spending more and more. And you don't know that that's a problem. Then we have a problem.
That's a problem right there.
So you have to identify that there is a problem so that you can deal with it.
All right.
Health wise, you can look into you know your family history. You know that things maybe you know that most of your family members have suffered from diabetes or high blood pressure, and to you, you don't think that is a problem. So you have to know that there is a problem somewhere. You have to identify the problem.
All right. So you have to identify the problem. That's the first step of making sure that you turn your life or health problems into a positive one. First of all, you got to identify a problem. We are going to delve deep into that one. This is just a summary of what we're going to go through. The second one is that you have to own the problem. You have to own the problem. Just in the interest of time, let me go on this and we'll go on each one of them with details. You have to own the problem. You take ownership of what you have. If something is yours, you don't give it to somebody else. So if you have a problem, you have to own it, right? So that is one. And then the next one is that you have to desire for change. You have to desire for change. If you have a problem and you're not worried, it's okay for you, then obviously there's no need to change, right? So there has to be the desire to change, and we're going to talk about that. And then the fourth one is you got to take action. You got to take action in order to take care of the issue, right?
What you can do about the problem, right? That's
Yes,
taking action.
that's taking action. What can you do about a problem? So these four areas we are going to hit on with a little more detail and do it. All right. So um, let's move on. The next one we are going to, as I said, we're going to delve deeper on the on those outlines that we showed. So the first one is identify the problem. Identify the problem, and the first one under identify the problem is to admit that there's a problem. I think we alluded to that.
Right.
If there's a problem and you don't admit that you got a problem, then that's in itself a problem. I like that. That's the first major problem, is not to know that you have a problem. Wow. All right. I think that we need a video game for that. Yeah. So admit that there is a problem. And then the second one, you
That's
screen.
right.
You got to be able to screen that there is a problem. Identify the problem, admit the problem. And in order for you to identify the problem, you got to be able to screen.
Okay.
My thought went a little haywire right there. Yeah, so you got to be able to screen in order to find out if there is a problem or what is going on, right?
Okay.
So you admit that there's a problem. Then, in order to be able to admit that you have a problem, you also have to screen, look for the problem, look for the source of the problem. That is important. And then the next one is to examine the problem. Examine the problem. Just put the problem on the table, dissect it, and see where it came from, what difficulty it is bringing to your life, and maybe what you can do to take care of it. So you have to examine the problem. And then the next one
Is
is
to review.
yes,
Review the problem. So, like I said earlier about you talking about reviewing, like a situation. Maybe you have a vision, you have a target about something, you have a goal to achieve something in life. So you have to go back and review how you're doing. So when you identify the problem, you review the situation and you're like, this is not going that well. So that will help you know that there is a problem somewhere after
right.
the revision.
So review also let you know, especially when you do that at the end of the year, and you sit down and you look back, as we talked about last time. That will let you know where problems are, right? So review will also make you identify your problem. Apart from the fact that it will help you to assess what problem it is, it's also going to make you see what problems there are actually in your life. So that is one thing. And then you also have to be able to analyze your life and see if there is something wrong. So all those come under the big heading of identify your problem. Identify. You got to admit. You got to, well, before you even admit, you got to be able to know that there's a problem. You got to, that is where analyzing comes in. That's where examining your life comes in. Why is it that, this thing is not working out? Oh, that's it. That's the problem. So that makes you identify the problem. So analysis scientifically will make you, know what is going on. And when I say scientifically, sometimes you have to be a little bit more scientific. It is good for somebody to just look at you and say that I think that there's something wrong with you because you are not smiling all the time. You have a problem. That's observational. They can feel. But you can analyze your life and see, why is it that I'm not smiling? Why is it that I'm always crying? Then that analysis, scientifically, you will look into your life. Oh, it's because when I go to work, I do this, do that, and that, and that, and I'm still not producing anything. Oh, it is because my family situation is not good. My wife or my husband is maltreating me, and that's the problem. That's why I am not doing this. So that analysis scientifically make you look at things for what they are, objectively make you know where the problems are. All right. So
So in that in mind, maybe we can think of the screening in a way that, like, if you go to the hospital, you have your annuals happening, and the doctor screen you, they do the blood work and they realize that your sugars are really high. So the screening part of it also bring out the problem. So by getting screened, you will be able to identify the problem, that it seems blood pressure is too high, the doctor may mention, or maybe your sugar is too high. So through the screening, something may come out that you realize that there is a problem.
All right. So screening, and with that, since we are a life and health channel and show, screening, as you mentioned, if you are a younger person, you have some data to share? Can you go through some of them? Why should we screen in terms of health? Why should we do some screening? Because some people are living, but they are really sick. Nothing is going on. They don't even know they are sick. And screening is what will help out. Do you have any more to share on that?
So I think according to the CDC website, every age group has something that when you go to your annuals, the doctor may screen for. So if you take like 18 to 39, it's one group class that when you go, the doctor will check your sugar, the doctor will check your eyes, your ear, your hearing, and all that. But as you age, there are more things that they look up for screening. So I have it here that as a woman, when you turn 40 to 49, it's recommended that you do mammogram. You do your breast has to be examined. So if you are informed and you are going out there not looking for a problem per se, but you are taking care of yourself by going to the doctors, right? So you go age group, they are like, oh, you are of age, we have to do a mammogram. So they do the mammogram and you're fine. So it's like you do it every year. So that screening will help you know that you are on point, you are doing everything as directed. I think as a male, there are other things that you have to do. The PSA
You can do a
test, right?
PSA that is a little older, just to check your prostate health. Some people don't screen. And so the only time they identify that there's something wrong is when things are too late, you know. And then the moment they are, they are diagnosed, it's a life or death situation because they have never been screened. They don't go to the doctors for blood pressure check because they look fit. They just pick up themselves, go to work, come home, and that's all. But if you do screening, if you want to identify your life's problems, especially related to your health, then checking, as you say, your blood pressure at least annually with your doctor, going to your eye doctor. I spoke to the eye doctor I think we had a video, and it will baffle you how many people come to her office and they are almost blind because they never went to the eye doctor before. So the problem was there, but because they never screened, it got so late in the game that they couldn't solve their problem. So you can turn your life to the positive or to an advantage if you're not constantly screening for issues to deal with. So yes, in the male prostate, also at age 45, especially if you are black, you need to have colonoscopy done. The doctors may not follow through. Some of them, they are too busy, they forget, and also it used to be 50, so some of them may not even ask for it. But if you are watching us today and you are over 45 and you haven't had a colonoscopy done, you got to have it done because you want to make sure that you are screened so that if there is any problems, any polyps that are developing that could lead into cancer, they can find that out and take them out before a major problem happens. So this area of identifying your problem under health is very important. And you said mammogram. Anything else for women?
You
Yeah.
we can talk about the Pap smear. If you are married, it's required of you to do your Pap smear every year. Follow through with your doctor, so that you know that you are healthy all around. So it's recommended as you age, as you are sexually active, Pap smear needs to be done yearly. I think they change it to every 2 years, depending on your family history. By look into it, visit your doctor, ask for it, and they can screen you, and through that they'll be able to detect anything. If anything is happening to you, you'll be able to find out first, then you do something about it.
All right. And any other disease state that we need to mental health screening? You are somebody who is easily depressed. You got to have screening done so that you be diagnosed. If you are diagnosed and you're put on medication, most of the issues that are affecting your productivity will be taken care of. But you don't just let things happen as they may. You got to identify if there's something wrong, that's something that is affecting your productivity, whether it's at work or at school or wherever you find yourself, if there's something that is pulling you back, there's got to be a screening, there's got to be an examination, there's got to be a review, there's got to be an analysis, all to make sure that you take the hammer and hit that thing hard before they come out and make anything worse for you in future. Should we move forward?
Yes.
All right. So identifying, even we talked about health, but what about finances too? You want to say something? Well, identifying financial problems too, relationship problems in the home. I want to throw this in. Just so you know, next month, the whole month of September, we're going to be talking about the impact of marriage on your health, the importance of marriage, and all that. Every week, we're going to hit on that subject. So I'm hoping to get resource people to join us so that they will also help. But that is out there. But for now, we can touch a little bit on it.
Finance, right?
Yeah, finance.
Yeah. Okay. So like I think I said it earlier that maybe you know that you're kind of heading towards being bankrupt because you are living from paycheck to paycheck. You've maxed your credit card, and maybe you don't have any money set aside for like emergency funds. So if you lose your job today, you know for sure that you're going to be homeless. So right there and then you know that there is a problem. So you identify that problem, you review and analyze and realize that, oh, I know that my income, whatever I'm making, that is coming in, it seems I'm spending more. So that is analyzing the situation, reviewing and examining the situation. So you know that you are not making much, but you are spending more and more. So that is a problem. So the moment that you realize that you identify the problem, then you are going to make some changes, right? So financially, we can think of it the same way. It's not only health. So you realize that
But you got to
you are
also
going
talk
red
about
and red.
maybe you are spending too much,
Yes.
especially some of the excuse me to say ladies. You know, every sale you are there. Some of the guys, every toy. I'm like that. I like my toys.
Electronics,
You know,
right? Mm-hmm.
everything that is on sale, you are there. Meanwhile, you have nothing to fall on, like she said. So you have to identify. That is why you probably are not, doing well. Or you may have a different, unique situation that we can't even tell here because obviously everybody is different. But you got to be able to identify why you are poor. You got to know why you are poor. That's a problem. Poverty is a problem. Nobody is born to be poor. All right. So you got to identify why you are poor. That's the first and the most important is to know that you have a problem,
You have a
and then
problem.
identify what is actually causing it. Then the next steps that we're
And
going to
like
talk about.
if you talking about analysis, you realize that your kids are growing, right? And you don't have any college fund set aside for them. You analyze the situation and said, oh, they are going to be starting college like in 2 years, in 3 years. Then you realize that you don't have any money saved. Then you know that there is a problem that you have to deal with.
All right. So let's move on in the interest of time. The next one on our list is own the problem. After you have identified that you have a problem, you own it. You own the problem. I like this side because where I was born at, people, most of you know where I was born at, right? Where I was born at, where I'm from, people have the tendency to blame people for every problem. Every problem. So blame others. Oh, it's because of who I am, where I am from. As for me, where I'm from, nobody has ever gone to school. And so you are proud about that, that nobody has ever gone to school. So if you make it to second grade, hey, you top your class, you top your family. So own the problem. Say that this is my unique problem. This is my special problem. This problem affects me. It doesn't matter where I'm from. It doesn't matter who gave birth to me. It doesn't matter my race.
Your color.
It doesn't matter your color. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter where you went to school. It's not your choosing. It's just happened. You went to the wrong school. You got the wrong friends when you were a kid. Well, it's all good. But the problem is you have to know that it's your problem now. You don't blame your parents for living where they lived. You don't blame your friends for influencing you negatively. You don't blame anybody else for your unique situation, which is a problem. You have to own it,
Yes.
right, Manny? Or do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, so like sometimes too, when things are not going well, instead of us to sit down, identify the problem by analyzing and reviewing the way we live our lives, we just turn around and our grandmother in the village,
Oh, oh.
somebody somewhere is the reason why I'm not doing well.
Let's hit this bell for grandmothers. Grandmothers are suffering. Yes, go ahead.
So every situation, every problem is somebody else. So we have to stop pointing our fingers on people around us and just look within and own the problem that is me now. The problem may have been contributed by the way that I was brought up, where I was born, my family setup. I came from a broken home. All that is problem out there. But now it's my life that I'm living. So it's my problem now. So I'm going to own it and try to do something about it.
Beautiful, beautiful. So don't blame family. Don't apportion blame to family. Even though, I mean, it may be partly due to them, like you're saying. It may be partly due to your dad who was a drunk, who never took you to school, never. But right now, he has done his part. It is you now, and you own the problem, right? It may be due to your genes. Maybe for you, you are unable to, to lift medals. I should say, you are skinny like I am, my genes, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't exercise, right? All right. So it may even be your genes. Maybe you struggle to learn to study in school because intellectually nobody in your family is doing great. You may have inherited something, but that doesn't mean that's the end of the story. The second thing, the first is you identify. The second thing is own. Is it? This is mine now. It's not for my family. My family may have been dumb. My family may have gone through this, but for me, I rise up against this, and you will have a way out of it.
Yeah.
All right.
So with the genes part, you may have inherited something
Some
like
disease.
some disease state. You know that almost everybody in the family they are diabetics. It's something that you inherited. That's your problem. Or the diets that we've been fed over the years have made us prone to getting diabetes. Okay, so you were not old enough to feed yourself. Your parents fed you all right, but now you've grown and you have to own the problem. What can I do about it?
And some people say that, oh, if you're in America, the diet, it's McDonald's. It's not my choice. If I have lunch, if I go to work and there's no lunch, it's only McDonald's around. So that's what I'm going to eat. That is your choosing. You don't blame America for the food. They don't force you to buy the wrong food. You can go to Subway and get some veggies, right?
Yeah.
It's your choice. So in every situation, you got to say that I'm responsible for this now. I'm responsible. And I like the fact that you threw on the health aspect. Some people have diabetics in their family. Their grandparents are diabetic. Their mother is diabetic. Their dad is diabetic. Even their sister or their brother may be diabetic. So they have given up and saying that, oh, this is our family problem. That's what everybody in my family gets. Actually, even my mother died of diabetes. So I'm giving up on that. That's what I'm going to go by. No, if you have identified that as a problem in the family, you own it now as your own problem. And then when you have taken ownership, that is when you'll be empowered to do something about it. All right. And then the next point, the C, is don't wait on others. If you're owning the problem, you don't wait on others to solve them for you. Most people in the place that I told you that I was born at, they wait on the government to do everything for them. In fact, people graduate college and as they are coming out, they are waiting for government. If I hadn't lived in this land, I wouldn't have known that there's actually a private sector picking up people and people, starting their own businesses in this great era. So don't wait on others to employ you. There's so many nurses graduating back in Ghana, in other places, and they are being exported to other places because the government cannot employ them. Seriously? Why don't you form your own nursing partnership? Why don't you do something house to house nursing, or something, But again, because you don't own the problem, you are saying that the government is the problem. You are not thinking about solutions. So you have to own the problem in order for you to take the next step. So you identify and then you own. Do you have anything before we go to the next one?
I think the B, we skipped it. Harbor no bitterness.
Harbor no bitterness. Harbor no bitterness. Some people too have been paralyzed, because they blame others. Of course, if you were abused as a child, or even if you're a wife and your husband abuses you, it's okay to blame them. But staying there and continuously being beaten and being killed is your own choosing. because you own the problem. The problem is there. You got to do something about it. Run away, go tell the police, whatever. You got to do it because you own the problem now. Recently, I think we heard about a minister, a lady, very good musician in Nigeria, who was killed by their husband. And it didn't just happen in one day. They had received abuse upon abuse. And the only reason why they eventually died is that they didn't take ownership. That's my own idea. If they have taken ownership and said that this is my problem, I have to do something, they probably would have done something. But they had blamed the husband as a problem. The husband is a problem. As for my husband, he's always beating me. Yeah, he is a problem to himself. But you too, he's a problem to you. It's got to be your own problem. So you got to take an initiative and do something about it. All right. So don't harbor bitterness. Bitterness can paralyze you. It can make you feel inferior. It can make you feel weak. It can make you feel like you can't do anything at all because you are better against somebody. And if you do that, you do not own the problem because whoever made you better will be the person who is holding the problem. And as long as that person is around, you continue to be where you are just because you can blame them.
Yep. So you just have to forgive them whatever you think they've done to you. Then you liberate yourself. You set yourself free and deal with the problem.
Exactly. Exactly. So don't harbor bitterness because it will not make you own the problem. And the next one then is desire for change. So we have talked about identify, we have talked about owning or taking ownership of the problem. And the third one is desire for change. It is one thing to know that you have a problem. It is another thing to own the problem. And then yet it is another thing to ask for change. Some people know that they have a problem. Some people have taken it upon themselves. I am the problem. But then they end the day, they do not have any desire to change the situation. That is serious. That is serious. We want to start with the A.
Yeah, something better out there. So if you are exposed, now that we have moved from Ghana to here, we have a lot of exposure. We have so many things at our disposal. And the state that we are in is such that we can easily identify opportunities. There are so many opportunities here. So if like you identify that financially you are not sound, and you know that you're living from paycheck to paycheck and you are being bankrupt and you know for sure that so many people are depending on you, what can you do? You just have to desire for a change because of what is out there, because of the exposure, because of what you have seen other immigrants done for themselves. So because of this exposure, you desire for that change. You desire something better for yourself. So exposure is very important.
So exposure.
Just knowing what is out there for you.
All right. So desire for a change from your situation, you need to have exposure. All right. And the reason is that if you are not exposed to what is out there, some people feel comfortable in their problems. And for some of us, if you have not traveled, you would have felt that living in some kind of a situation, some kind of way, economically was okay. All that you needed to do is to probably just marry, have babies, and then just a little bit build a house. And those people who can afford a second wife get a second wife, and that is all that you were going for. That is what some people think. All right, that is because they have no exposure to what else wealth can be, and so their problem is good for them. Some people actually are very comfortable being poor, very, very comfortable. And some of them are also very comfortable being sick. As long as they are not dying, as for that diabetes, they will handle it like that. As long as that cancer will not kill them, they take their medication every day. It's fine. So there's no desire for change. No desire for change.
And maybe we can think of it this way, that there is a poverty line in this country, right?
Yeah.
And some people are so comfortable remaining under the poverty line. Whatever they are doing, they feel like if they are cleaners, they are comfortable because having a cleaning job will put you under the poverty line. And if you stay under the poverty line, you qualify for certain things. So because of that, they are comfortable. They don't want any change. They don't want to add any value to themselves. There are a lot of opportunities, but they just ignore it because there is no desire for change. Because what they know is the little that they can get from the government and the little that they can get from the job is good enough. They are not greedy. They don't want any more. They are comfortable.
So
So they just,
comfortable in being poor.
yeah, so they just relax. There is no desire for change.
No desire for change because they are comfortable in their situation. They are not exposed to how being rich can be. How the wealth can how wealth can actually enhance every aspect of your life. They are not exposed to that. And even if they are exposed to that, they don't want to put in any work. They are just comfortable with their problem. So yes, I know your problem, but on top of that, own it. And when you own it, after you have owned it, desire for change.
You don't get comfortable
You
in
don't
it.
comfortable with your problem. If you are comfortable, you will continue to remain in your state. And everybody who is remained comfortable in any situation has never made any move towards being better. Your life and health will remain the same if you are comfortable where you are. But if you are uncomfortable, if you say that no, there's no way I will take 3 steps and my heart is racing. As a young man, I'm only 30, I'm only 40, I'm only 20, I'm only 35, I'm only 60. And yet, when I walk just a half mile, I'm almost dead because I can't breathe. And you're comfortable, you say that, oh, as for me, this is how I am. No, desire for change. Desire for change. Take the necessary steps. There's something better out there. Maybe if you lost a few pounds, maybe you're going to be able to carry yourself better. There is something better out there. Have you ever thought about when you were feeling better, how you felt? So desire for change. Don't be comfortable in your ill health. Don't be comfortable in the situation you are. Some people, their blood pressure is skyrocketing. The doctor gives them one medicine and then he adds another one. And then he tells them, because it's not well controlled, I'm going to add a third one. And they are like, no, doc, I'm going to stay right here. 150 or 160 is good for me. It's good enough. I have to just remain here. You are not desiring for change. And for that, the problem will remain. Other people too, what they will do is that they will pester their care providers, their doctors, their nurses, and say that no way, I'm not going to keep my blood pressure over 160 and then be paying insurance every month. What am I getting out of healthcare? No way. I'm desiring for it to come down. If you can't take good care of me, transfer me to a specialist. That's the attitude that will turn your life and health into your advantage. So if you know the problem and you desire for change, then that would be a better option for you. All right. And the next point is refuse the status quo. Refuse the status quo. If you want to start, you can start. But to refuse the status quo also basically means don't accept what everybody else accepts as the normal. Basically, some people accept that being this way is okay. It's enough. Oh, after all, your parents are okay with a C grade. And so why do you have to bother yourself so much? You can just be like that. After all, sometimes you get B. And we translate this to adult life. Same thing. As long as I can pay my rent, as long as I can keep my kids in school, as long as, I don't own anybody, I'm comfortable here because that's what everybody is doing in my area. In my neighborhood, as a matter of fact, I drive a 2017 car. Everybody else drives 2002. And so I'm okay. The status quo is that everybody has to remain on the ground. So I'm fine. You got to refuse the status quo. You got to refuse what everybody accepts. In fact, that is very, very important. And that is what is hurting a lot of people. A lot of families too.
Yeah. We can also think of it this way, like we will think of it like our race, being a Black person, as a woman, we tend to put on more weight, right?
Okay.
So almost everybody around me is obese. My family, if you look at my family, everybody is obese. And I'm obese. So what's the problem?
What's the problem?
But you know yourself that when you put on extra weight and you are climbing the stairs, it becomes so difficult. You have difficulty breathing. You do any little exercise and you are panting. You know for sure that you are not healthy. You refuse to accept the status quo. That is okay because everybody around me has put extra weight. We Black people, we can't be skinny like the white people. We have big bones, we have big bones. So we have to put on extra weight But people can put on the extra weight and they're able to carry themselves all right. That's okay. But if you know yourself that if you put on the extra weight, it's a little difficult for you to really enjoy your children, go out, have activities outside, then you have to do something about it. You
Definitely.
refuse to accept the status
So
quo.
refuse to accept what everybody calls normal,
Normal.
somebody what everybody accepts in the society. As far as it's a problem for you, you got to refuse it. Because if not, then you will not desire for change. The only time you will desire for change is when you have refused what people say about your situation. If people say, "Oh, you're doing fine," even my kids are doing okay with this school. Your kids, they one of them even did this, so you are fine. No, 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 no. It's not fine. As long as there's a problem, there's got to be a way to desire for something better. So desire for change only comes when you refuse the status quo. Even if it's coming from your own close friends, even if it's coming from your own teachers. Some teachers have very low
Low
standards for kids.
expectations.
Low expectations. That's the word. Low expectations for kids, and so you accept it because even the teacher says that it's fine as long as they pass. They're gonna go forward and you'll be fine. Meanwhile, in the class, everybody else is acing their exams, and you accept the offer to be normal, and then let your kid just lag behind. So refuse the status quo so that you can desire for change. All right, and the last one on this desire for change is know the rewards. If you know the rewards of what will happen when you desire for a new thing, when you move out of your current situation, like you're using the example for the person that cannot even walk a flight of stairs, if you know the rewards of when you lose your weight or when you take good care of us, how much breathing will be easier for you, how much relaxing it will be for you to just even walk around with the kids. If you know those rewards, if you think about those, then you desire for change. So that is also going to push you to desire for change. In the same way, if you are wallowing in poverty or you are wallowing in a place, especially those of us from third world countries who are watching, everybody is poor, so you are fine. And we say because of status quo, you have accepted. But if you know the rewards of doing things different, then you can also desire for change. So that is another thing that we want to share with you. Now, do you want to add something? We can
I
move
think there
forward.
is more to talk about. The next slide.
Okay. So on the next slide, still continuing on the desire for change, we have a drive. Have a drive. Have a drive.
Yeah, so like have a drive. There should be like a desire that we talked about to for a change to occur. Yeah, some people instead of doing something about their situation, they'll be like, "Oh, life is too short. Everybody is going to die. Whether you overeat, you are overweight, you don't control your blood sugar, and at the end of it all, we are all going to die anyway." So there is no drive. The person is so relaxed in their situation because they look around and say that, "Oh, if I do extra for like live like something, make more money, make like
Be healthier.
healthier, like Japadi can say, like
Properties
properties,
or
build
wealth.
properties, help my community, do something so that I leave behind for my children, you know. But like, why are you worrying so much? Just get a little bit. Life is too short. You have to enjoy your life because there is no drive for something excellent, something better. They just are relaxed. They are just relaxed. They don't want any change. So we should have a drive for a change.
Definitely. You should have a drive, and the drive will move you. If you have a drive, it will move you. And the excuses come because of the lack of drive. You don't want to do anything about your situation. So you make very, 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 very flimsy excuses like life is too short.
Life is too short.
Oh, yeah, Tiabre, we've heard this before. Oh, this person, all this money, he still died.
He died.
So
He didn't go with
he
the
didn't he,
housing,
he didn't go. Yeah, we came with nothing. We
nothing.
will go with nothing. Really, but is it not God that says that He's going to bless you and make you prosper? He's going to. He knew that, but He told Abraham that I'm going to bless you until even your descendants are uncountable, as many as the sand of the shore, right? But He knew Abraham was going to pass, so we don't use The fact that you will die in the future as a yardstick to just relax and say that I'm just waiting until I pass away. I'm 40. Even if I get 20 more, I'm okay with it. No, you are being selfish. You are being selfish because what about the people who can also benefit from the little push that you get? And you are not getting the push because of the excuses that you are making. Have a drive. If you have a drive, then you desire for change. You know, if you have the drive, you desire for change. So if your life is full of excuses, it is because you don't have the drive for any change. And some of us, we don't want to commit to anything because we don't want the risks that come with it, you know. I mean, I made my house, I built my house, I got this, a car or two. I'm actually able to afford the Beamer, you know, a Mercedes here. You know, I got a beautiful wife, I got a nice job. What are you telling me about? Don't be comfortable with this situation. I only have a little problem, sometimes when the economy tanks, I lose money. Yeah, there's a problem, right? So desire for increase. And if you get more, it doesn't mean you use more. We talked about philanthropy. You can give to others even if you have enough for your kids. Other people can benefit. That's why some communities have remained poor and poorer because the people who made it, as soon as they can marry two or three, they build one house for their wife number one, another house for their wife number two. I know this is foreign to the those of us in the U.S., but in the developing countries it happens. As soon as they can build one here, one there, and a little bit for their maternal family, so that nobody will fight over them when they are dead, they are good. Meanwhile, these people are rich enough to build universities for other people to attend, but there's no drive. So life is too short. Oh, we came for nothing. We came with nothing, and then they relax. No drive. Have a desire for change. All right.
And I think the last one talk about fear.
Yes,
Fear of a change.
fear of change.
Fear of change.
Fear of change. They don't want to change. They don't have a desire to change because they are afraid. They are afraid. They are also afraid of challenge. They're afraid to be challenged. If I go up and do this, as a matter of fact, some people, from the place that I'm from, some people are scared to build because their grandmother will kill them. Some people are scared because their sister or their uncle is jealous and they will do this. All right.
Or they may say that a like
Yeah, the people will be
people will be
you
out
you
for you.
you attract a lot of scrutiny.
Enemies.
You attract a lot of enemies. It's cool. It's okay to attract a lot of enemies. It means you're doing something good. But if your life is right in all rounds, nobody can do anything against you. Nobody can do anything against you. Just commit yourself to God and you have no evil intentions against anybody. God will protect you because He is the one that causes us to prosper. Scripture says that He is the one that's going to make you excel. His blessings make it rich and He adds no sorrows to it. So don't be afraid of the challenge that comes. Don't be afraid of investment because you may lose your money. Yeah, you may lose your money. But what if you gain? We only think about the negative. What if you make the money? If you lose, you can go back in there. So fear can also put down your desire for change. So you don't be comfortable in your problem. You got to make sure that you do away with fear. That way you can go for a change.
We can also say that the fear of failure.
The fear of failure.
I'm very comfortable here. I'm doing well at my job. Why do you want me to quit my job and start my own business? And I'm going to fail. So that fear of failing also prevents people from desiring for a change.
For change.
Because there are a lot of opportunities, like I said, out there. But because we fear of failing, if we try to go on an adventure or something, and what if I fail?
What if I fail?
What if I fail? So that will make us be comfortable and not have a desire to change.
Great. So in the interest of time, let's move forward. And still on the desire to change, we also have, I think we talked about have a drive already. Don't make excuses. I think we also did that. And then we say life is hell. There's no help is what we didn't mention. People say there's no help. No, I have nobody to help me. I have nobody to help me. It's real. Sometimes, some people have very beautiful business ideas, but there's no credit, especially in developing countries. You want to come out of poverty. You want to come out of some situation, but nobody is there to give you the initial capital to start anything. and it could be in an advanced country like the US or Europe or anywhere, and you still be able to face this. But you don't give up, because the one who persists is the one that is eventually going to succeed, right? Yeah, we're seeing a lot of people liking the video right there. Great job. Oh man, let me just see if my applause will go. Yes, great job, great job, great job. We are seeing some comments in Facebook. Yes, some we're seeing somebody saying, "Good to see you, Dr. Gifty." Castillo, Francis, wow, live and colored. All right, all right, all right. And then we're seeing MK Owusu says, "Thank you, Doc. Very insightful discussion. Inability to take responsibility of problems and blaming external forces is a problem itself." Very, very true. That is very, very, very important. Very true. And I like that. I think we need an applause for that. I hope my thing goes in there. Definitely, 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 definitely. Yes. And then I have a brother, Kapna Adade, also says, "We have countless opportunities." I believe that. I trust that. That is really true. We have countless opportunities. And my brother, Jeremiah, is also watching us from Holden, Massachusetts. All right, keep the comments coming. When we wrap up, we will read a few of them. And if you have a question too, put a Q in front of it, and hopefully it will come through, and we will share with the audience. All right, so we're moving forward. We're about to wrap up soon. Let's see. So the fourth and the last one that you need to do in order to turn your life and health problems into your own advantage is to take action after you have identified your problem, after you have owned the problem, after you have desired for change. Now the fourth one is take the action. Take the action. I saw a sign somewhere that says that there's a grave and there's so many beautiful ideas in that grave. They all took you to the grave, right? Most beautiful ideas, prominent ideas that were never executed. So it's good to have all those, desire. It's good to have that innate, I want to do this, I want to do that, being positive, but put it into action, right? And I'm learning from these things. You think I know all these? I don't. I'm learning too. I'm going to put some of the things I'm learning here into action for my own benefit. So take things into action. You want to write a book? Take it into action. Go ahead and write. Don't procrastinate like me, who has not written it for a long time, even though I have the title. It will come out soon. We'll talk about it. Yeah. So take the action. Take the step. Yes. Take the step. Take the necessary step. The 1,000-mile journey begins with a step. Begins with a step. If you don't make the first move, you will continue to be where you are. So if you desire, good. It's good to desire, but move. Don't be stuck with the desire in your heart. Move.
So like financially, how do we take a step? If we know that our income, whatever is coming in, is not as much as our expenditure, we are spending more. How can we change? So taking a step can also be going back to school to increase your value. So like that as a cleaner, you are earning this.
You train yourself, right?
Train yourself. You are earning this as a trainer. But what about if I become something else? My income may multiply or double or order, so that that whatever is coming in is more than what is expended, so that you'll be able to put money aside for your children's education and stuff like that. So we have to take a step by being, sometimes too, we have to be specific, right? We have to set goals, and we have to go back and review the goals and see if it's working or it's not working.
Definitely.
So we have to take a step. We have to do something about it. If we don't know, it's always good to ask somebody who knows. If you want to trade that somebody is already in it, you can just call the person, try and gather information and make a move. And definitely it will work for your advantage.
Definitely. So take a step. Train. You also mentioned that. Take a class. It's something that you want to do. Take a class in it and do it. You want to. You think you have a problem somewhere. Screen. Take that screening. Health problem. Get that screening done, and then take the step. Once you find out what the problem is, go out there and seek for help. Also, the next one is what? Be positive about the situation. As far as being negative, as last we discussed in our last video, we're saying that negativity is all around us. The TV, the news anchors, they are trained to tell you the most negative all the time because that's what will hook you to watching. If they tell you everything is fine, you will just turn it off. Maybe they tell you that a car blast did this to this, you will stick up and watch. So they are very good at telling you that something is wrong. Your friends, the world at large, are very good at emphasizing the wrongs, the negatives. Giving you the excuses because we are black, because of slavery. This is why I'm going through this. Yes, it is true that is also contributed to what your situation may be, but you don't just sit idle and say that because of that I'm doing nothing.
Nothing.
No, you got to take action and beat that situation, right?
And under B, the training parts and taking action can also be like you have to be informed. You find out the situation, then you go and do a research. Be informed, get the information that you need, and go with it.
All right.
Be informed.
Be informed, yes. So if you're not sure what to do, that is where information comes. Study, get information, and take the next move. And then the D, which is the last one, is be ready to fail. Be ready to fail. If you are starting something and you think that it's definitely going to be a success, that can hurt because failure is bound to happen sometimes. It's actually a 50-50 thing. If you do your homework really well and all the odds play for you, you may succeed. But you got to have in the back of your mind that failure is also an option. It can happen. And I think I heard somebody that said that the person who has failed is the one that has never started or tried anything. They haven't taken any action before. But if I took an action, if I took a step to do something and I failed, I'm better than the person who didn't even start.
To fail.
Yes, because they are afraid they didn't start. They are the failures. But me, I started, so I haven't failed. At least, if anything at all, my failure is going to inform me of my next move. So when I make a next move, I'm going to be able to, wisely maneuver and design my path so that I will not fail again. Or even if I fail again, I will still get more experience. So failure is actually a learning tool.
Yeah.
A learning tool. So that is one thing that we also have to know. Failure also helps. All right. So be ready to fail if that's what it takes. Then go back again. If you fall 7 times, rise up 7 times. Right? All right. I think we have come to the end of that. Now, taking action also on your health. Do you have anything to add?
Taking action
on your health. So we've talked a lot of general. We are hoping that if you are facing a health issue, you will take action from today. If you are unable to breathe well when you walk or when you run, take action. If you haven't seen a doctor for a whole year, we blame the pandemic. You haven't had any screening, take action. Because you don't want to have a problem that you cannot deal with in the end, right? So if you haven't had any other screenings, you're a woman, you haven't felt your breast before to see if there's something going on, and you have heard people dying of breast cancer and you attribute it to spirits. Maybe it's the witches and wizards that are doing it. No, take action. Have you had your own exam done? Have you had mammograms done? Have you felt it yourself? There's something going on that you haven't done anything about. Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
So with the being informed part, how old am I? When you go online or you go to a CDC website, at this age, what are the screening that I have to do? So if you haven't done anything, you go to your doctor, you have information, you can ask questions. Do I qualify to do this? Am I due for that? Am I due for that? If the doctor do not order anything, you ask, when am I due? When was the last time I did it? Is it coming up soon? So you take interest in your own health. So if you are informed, then you go to the doctor's office, you should ask the right questions. And in that way, you are going to change any bad situation around by being informed.
Definitely.
Knowing what you have to know. Yeah.
Great. All right, so we are heading towards the end right now. So with our slides, we are done with the slides. We just want to go on here and discuss what is coming up next. But before that, if we have concluding any comments that we can share, we can go through them. I see 3 chats here. Let me see if I can read the live chat that I see on my YouTube feed. Right. Do you see any? You can read any
No, we
from?
don't. I
Is
think we
it the
read it
same ones
all.
that you read?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. So we are going to definitely wrap it up soon, but we just want to, if you have any concluding remarks.
Concluding remarks. What I would say is, we know that the Bible says that those who know their God will do exploits, right? Or
Hmm.
can do exploits.
Hmm.
So there is a doing somewhere.
Hmm.
It's not just being idle and hoping that things are going to fall on your lap. You have to do something. You can do a lot because the Lord has equipped you. So if you know the person that God has made you, what you have in you, you can do a lot. You can do more than what you are doing now if you desire for a change.
If you desire for a change. All right, all right, all right, all right. So if you desire for a change, you can do more. There's action. Doing is an action word, right? So there is something that definitely needs to be done in order for you to turn your life situation into a positive. So before we conclude, I also want to remind you that a life and health show is going to be back on Sunday evening, either 5 or 6. We're still struggling to know whether it should be 6 or 5. But in the event of anything, we'll let you know. It's going to for now, we're saying it's going to be 5 p.m. every Sunday, unless something happens, then we'll move it an hour down. So keep yourself locked onto our shows. Make sure you go to our Dayspring Life and Health channel on our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. We are going to hit about 1,000 subscribers soon, and we're going to have a giveaway when that time comes. So make sure you rush there and subscribe. Also, click the like button, even though we're about to wrap up, so that the algorithm will send it out for other people to see it and to watch it. And keep your comments still coming, even though the live show will be over. If you watch it in the replay, also make sure that you comment and bring your like. Yes, I see another like over there. Great job. Yeah, keep liking it. That's how we can get more people watching it. All right, and thank you to all those who um, joined us from the beginning, and those who just joined us in the midway, and those who are going to watch the replay. And thank you for that like. Oh yes, if you are watching, keep the like going up. Yes, just keep hitting the like buttons. I see those. That's great. That's great. I haven't seen any comments yet though. So if you have any comments, just make sure you put the comments. Even when we are done, we will be able to do it. Yes, yes. Thank you for doing that live. Yes, I like that. If you do that, it will help us and it will keep people watching so that we can come up with more interesting topics. So next week or the whole month of September, we have set it up for discussing marriage and health, whatever it's involved in marriage and health. So we're going to be having discussions with people, or myself and my wife will be here and talk about issues that are related to marriage. So next week, that will be our first discussion. And I had the topic here. Let me see if I can blow it up to you. I think I said it earlier. But yes, we are going to have marriage discussion next week. And I think I put it here. Let me see. Yes, he said next week is going to be the health benefits of a stable marriage. The health benefits of a stable marriage. So, what is a stable marriage, and how can a health your health actually improve because of marriage? If you are not married, this is for you. Don't say that, oh, this is for married people. No, we want to inform you before that actually happens so that you will approach marriage with a different mindset altogether. And if you're married, you have to make time to be here next week, same time on Sunday, 5 p.m., and we will share this topic together. In the interest of time, we will wrap up here. It's been an hour, and I want to thank you again for sticking out with us for the whole hour. And I want to say we really do appreciate you. Really, really do appreciate you. So keep coming. Keep coming. Really, really fun to see you coming. All right. And we will close the show by saying, Beloved, we wish above
Above
all
all
things
things,
that
that
you
you
prosper
prosper in
and be in
being of
health,
good health,
even
even
as
as
your
your
soul
soul
prospers.
prospers.
Thank you. We'll see you at same time, 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. GMT. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.